It's no secret women are underrepresented in a wide range of industries. Investment management is no exception. The CFA Institute highlighted that gender gap in a new study today. Fewer than 10% of CFA members working as CEOs are women, with a similarly low proportion working as chief investment officers or chief financial officers. Among CFA members working as personal financial planners, just 17% are women. It's not that clients don't want to work with women, though. 54% of individual investors believe they'd get better performance from a gender-diverse team. Barbara Stewart is a chartered financial analyst and a researcher on women in finance. When I look at this, I think this is a problem. We have to. Why is this so persistent and we can't seem to crack it? You look at it as an opportunity.
I look at it as finally we've aired our dirty laundry. Now let's get on with it. And just to give you some context, the CFA Institute is the gold standard in the investment industry for academic qualifications. So the fact that this report is out is huge in terms of credibility. And as a woman, I love this report. But more importantly, as a business person, I love this report.
And it finds that gender diversity really does help. How so?
Well, I mean, there's all these debates and various research reports out there. Some of them are conclusive, some of them are not, and it depends which time slices and percentages that you're looking at. But to me, it's common sense, isn't it? I mean, alpha is added value, that's all it is, to whatever a manager is doing for performance. So if you have people that all think alike and look alike, and they're all asking the same questions when they're analyzing companies, is anyone able to add value? So you need to be asking different questions, and that's the key. So women ask very different questions,
For sure.
and that will lead to a competitive advantage, which is alpha.
Do you, when you talk to women who are sort of considering entering the field or at the beginning of entering this field, what are they telling you? What are their concerns?
Well, I have a really sort of first-class seat on this because over the last 20 years I've been doing, not the last 20 years, over the last 2 years I've spoken to over 20 CFA societies around the world on this topic and spoken at women's events specifically. And so it depends on where you are in the world. Interestingly, there's more CFA female charter holders in places like Romania and Singapore than there are in Canada and the US.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, and it's fun because when I did an event in Romania, you should see the enthusiasm of the younger women. So they're doing something right, and I think we can learn some best practices from the places in the world that actually do have higher representation of female CFA charter holders.
So as you gather all that information and you can come home and sort of share it with us, what's your best advice?
My best advice is the research that I've done in the last year. One of the broad themes was that finance is the new black. And this means that finance goes with everything. So we need to help the next generation of women link financial knowledge to career success in any industry. Because in 2016, every industry is a digital industry, as you know, and every industry requires financial knowledge. Somehow we have to make that link.
It strikes me, the financial industry, it's very data-driven, it's very results-oriented. It feels like it should be the first one to jump on this, and yet it remains, to a large degree, a bit of the old boys club.
Absolutely, but that's going to change too because everybody's smart in the financial industry, right? And I think, there's so much pressure. There's peer pressure, there's cultural pressure. Yes, these numbers look woeful in this report, and that's the word that Paul Smith used, who's the CEO of the CFA Institute. They do look woeful, but now it's out there, but there's lots of change going on that's very positive, and I get to see that because I do qualitative research talking to global leaders. And I mean, even today, you saw in the news, Christine Lagarde, one of my heroes and the head of the International Monetary Fund, she thinks, she wrote a blog post to Justin, let's get some more women and add 4%, I think it was, in global growth, economic growth.
And that's doable, right, you think?
Of course it's doable. I mean, women are smart, so are men. Let's figure it out.
The report has three really basic, it says that you should focus on three basic key areas. The first is getting early exposure to women in the investment industry in their college years and early careers. First of all, how does that look, and then what are the other two?
Well, that one, to me, is the absolute key. The other two, they happen, those are being worked on by other groups, but certainly the biggest impact, and it goes back to that finance is the new black. Let's help women and younger women understand that finance can be fun. It can lead to, you can work in a meaningful career if you have financial knowledge. It doesn't have to be as a portfolio manager.
Yeah.
It can help you in the digital arena. It can help you in technology sales, whatever. So I try to make that clear, and that's why I go around the world telling positive stories of real life people who are doing this and making it happen.
I have 2 sons and a daughter. Do you think by the time they're in the workforce, we'll have closed this gap?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I really think we're on a tipping point. Again, is this a problem or opportunity? From what I'm hearing and around the world, whoever I talk to, there's so much change going on that I think this is going to be a non-issue. And in fact, it could change overnight, kind of like how it does in the cabinet and the government. Just someone goes, boom, let's do it.
I like your enthusiasm. Let's tap into that.
My pleasure.
Good stuff, Nick. Thanks
Thank
for doing
you.
this.